Hey everyone, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. My name is Josh. Today we're talking about Channon Rose and the craziness that is going on with her channel and everything she says. If you don't know anything with Channon Rose, stay tuned. It gets crazy. Let's go. If you didn't know the history of Channon Rose and myself, I've been doing videos about her for a little while. She's the one that exposed that dead body at the beach that one time with her friend Tanna or whatever her name is. She's the one who did fetish PRN with crushing animals and racist PRN, throwing cotton balls at the guy, like, you know, in the adult entertainment industry. We covered that, and we covered a video, and she keeps doing these woe is me videos about how because of her past, she can't get jobs or anything like that, or she's losing sponsorships because people find out who she really is. And the thing that bugs me the most about Channon Rose is she's just a big giant hypocrite. Okay, so she talks about how, like, she's proud of her past, and this whole world is about, like, pro-sex culture, pro-sex work culture, and all this kind of stuff, and do what you want to do, and everybody's like that, until one of them has a problem in the world, right? Where then she's like, where she says things like, I'm ashamed of my past. I'm ashamed of the things I did in the adult entertainment industry. And it goes against everything else she says, which is like, I'm proud of my past work and don't come at me for my past work. But today she did a video. She did actually a bunch of videos. She did the one right here we're going to take a look at. We're not going to go through the whole thing. We're just going to go through kind of piece by piece, where she keeps calling out these brands and these people who are dropping her because of her past work. Right? And she's got people who are complaining to these people. This is how this works on the internet, okay? Especially with people you don't like. If you don't like what someone's done, or to pay for them to pay the price, YouTube won't kick someone off unless they do something crazy, which I think Channon did in a recently deleted video that she has, and we'll talk about that in a second. But basically, if you do something wrong on the internet and you're an influencer, or you're a commentator, or whatever the case may be, the biggest recourse you could get is people going after your brands. It's called cancel culture. Okay, this happens on Twitter all the time with everybody. Doesn't matter what you did. Could be something silly, could be something big, but that's what they do. They go after the brands on Twitter. Okay, and the brands they don't like negative attention for any reason, right? They hate it. They hate it, or they'll drop like an influencer if like one or two people speak out. Jess Femme and Sunkissed Mama, who have been covering recently with this big giant blow up, they're losing subscribers. They're losing brand deals, which is why they're scared and they're doing some craziness behind the scenes, and we'll talk about that in coming vlog when I'm allowed to. But Channon Rose is this one that says, you know, I should be able to do what I want, and, you know, my past shouldn't have anything to do with that, but that's just not the way the world works, specifically when it comes to doing racist things and crushing animals. Like, there are a few things you just don't do. Those are one of the top 3 things you don't do, okay? Don't mess with animals, okay? Don't be super racist at all, and don't come after kids. And she does all of them, right? She exploits her kids, Snowstorm, and all this kind of stuff. And so this is a woe is me video. She turns the tears on. She should be in, you know what, Channon? Have you considered acting in a soap opera? Because you're really good at turning on the tap. And remember, Channon Rose did that video where she pulled a Jordan Cheyenne, where she forgot that the camera was still rolling, and she was doing her thumbnails like, and then she'd be like, They do this for the thumbnail. This Channon Rose is not a woe is me. And we're going to look at what she's potentially made on this platform and on her Patreon. And the fact that she's complaining, sitting here in her plush robe, is going to blow your mind. And it's going to piss you off. And then the video she did after, and then we're going to talk about another video. Let's get to it. This video is crazy. I haven't watched the whole thing, but it's you know.
I just wanted to make this video because I'm really upset right now.
Why are you in the bathroom? Why did they go to their bathroom to do vlogs? It's echoey AF in there. Stop. She's generally got really great content. That's the only thing that Channon Rose that I can give her credit for is that she films with a good camera. I don't know what she uses. She sets it up nicely. She's got generally good audio, but why did you go into the bathroom? It's weird.
If you've been watching me for a while, you guys know that I used to do porn.
If anybody's ever watched you for 2 seconds, we know you've done that. She plugs her book on Amazon. She has 2 books about her past life. Everybody knows Shannon's in PRN. That's why they watch her. She's this like person that did the adult entertainment industry, and now she's a family vlogger. She's interesting to a lot of people, but they watch her because she's a train wreck. That's why they watch her.
Like, I've never tried to hide that. In fact, it's what I built my brand on, you know, like I'd gotten out of the porn industry and I wanted a better life for myself. And I worked really hard. to...
When you say worked really hard, what do you mean? You just started a YouTube channel? That's what you mean? Again, I will say this about the family vloggers. They all say that they work really hard. They don't work really hard. It's not difficult to turn a camera on and talk for 20 minutes and then edit it and put it on YouTube. That's really, really easy, actually, for people who talk like me. This is very simple what I do here. This is not difficult. It's not hard work. A little time consuming. Roni's snoring a little bit there sometimes, but it's not hard. This is not hard work, everybody. People who make their money on YouTube are the luckiest people in the world, okay? They're like mini celebrities. They make a lot of money for doing this much work. It's not difficult. A lot of them hire people to do it for them too, but it's not hard. Stop saying this, family vlogger. Stop it.
To do that, and it's not easy. Anybody that does porn knows that's like a really, really hard industry to get out of. It's not easy getting a job after you do porn.
Okay. The porn industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. You don't have to act in porn, but if you are pro-porn, you can do other jobs. I'm sure people will hire you. Also, let's not forget she's an influencer. She has over 1 million subscribers. Okay, she's got, I mean, people, she knows how to use algorithms. She could do a lot of things. She just, this, I'm going to, spoiler alert, this whole video is a big woe is me, like, totally tone deaf to her privilege while she rocks a $10,000 ring on her finger and wears a plush bathrobe in her giant ass bathroom in the house that YouTube built for her. Okay, guys, don't fall for this stuff. This is bullshit. And the comments are just like, we love you, we cried. The fans of Channon Rose, I would love to meet some of them and be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? When you meet them, you're like, oh, okay, I get it. That's what I'm saying. No regular people follow her that are normal.
I remember, like, I applied to, and it's like Marshalls and like TJ Maxx. I couldn't get a job anywhere.
She doesn't say when she did this. I think she's saying right after PRN, but and why would they? Her name is Channon Rose. Her PRN name is something else. I forget what it is, but it's not the same. And how would they know? How do they know? If they Google your name, your real name that you apply for in a job application, are they going to Google your name and say, oh, she was in PRN? People like ex-felons and people who've gone to jail get jobs at these places. I just don't believe it unless she has receipts, but we have another video. We'll go with that in a minute.
Like, no one would hire me. For one, like, I had no, like, real experience, and I'm not, like, I don't want anybody to feel bad for me, like, obviously.
Obviously, okay.
But, I even, like, went to EMT school and got my license, and I got a job and I got fired. One of the reasons was because
even like a emergency medical technician, she got her license for that. I feel like that's, man, our EMTs, like our paramedics, what we call them here in Ontario, they make bank and they go to school for way more than 4 years, or they go to school for, it's a degree. I think it's 4 years, maybe not, I don't know, but dang, they make a lot of money. So she did that
because they found out that I had done porn. And then, like, the guys were really weird with me, and it was just, like, a whole thing. Anyway, I got fired after, like, the first day.
I think you're missing some things there. It was a whole thing and I got fired. It was a whole thing and they got fired. Look, I'm not saying that she's wrong here. I don't know. But you got fired after the first day because she's saying that she got fired because she was in PRN. If that's the case, you could sue the living shit out of people. That's discrimination unless, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you can. In Canada, you absolutely could. She's in California. Is California a, what do you call that? What do you call that? So California is an at-will state, which implies at any moment a job without any reason, an employer can terminate you for any reason. This means that if your employer doesn't like your personality, if you run out of work, think you're lazy, just don't want staff anymore, you can fire at any moment. Okay, so maybe they could. Okay. But I feel like it's still discrimination. I feel like you can't fire based on discrimination. If you don't like someone, I don't know. That's weird. You guys have the weirdest laws in the US. That's crazy. Like, you can't fire someone in Ontario for no reason. You get sued. Like, easy. Like, you can't do that.
Long story short, with my past, it's not easy to go get a regular job. Like, you'd be surprised. Probably McDonald's, like, wouldn't even hire me.
No, they'd hire you. You'd be okay there. Again, it's not just your past in PRN. It's your past in the type of PRN you did. Nazi fetish porn and racist and animal crushing. If this is anything, it's commentary on your past makes a difference. What you do in your past will affect your future. And people who are like, don't hold my past against me. Well, that's sorry. You make bad choices. That's just the way it is. I mean, it depends on the choices that you've made, right? Of course. But those things are resonant through time, right? And we're tearing down statues, or the U.S. is tearing down statues of past presidents for owning slaves. And they're doing all these things. They're saying, well, they weren't held to by today's standards, they were terrible people, right? And I'm not saying it's wrong or right. Do what you got to do. It's America. But that's just the way it works out there. And you made these choices to make easy money doing crazy things. And you made a lot of money, Channon. She had a drug habit to, prop up and all this kind of stuff. It's your choice to make. You didn't do it against your will, is what I'm saying. And all these choices that these people make in sex work that people come at me for, it's like, don't come at people for doing sex work. Well, here's an example of why you shouldn't, possibly. Because your future matters. Specifically, you have children. It matters to your children's futures too, right? I'm just saying, if you do public sex work and you have children, just maybe don't. Or if you plan on having a family, don't. I don't know. If you're a healthy young person and you're single and you have nothing to go and you're just whatever and you want to do sex work, I have no problem with that. People seem to think I have a problem with that. No, I don't. I feel like if it's legal and safe, do what you got to do. It's when we enter into it. It's when we bring children into this. Okay, as parents who do crazy things. When you bring kids into a world like that world you live in, it's no longer about you. Your kids will suffer the consequences of your actions. You may be able to say as an adult, I will be willing to bear the brunt of my actions and the judgment I'll get when I'm in the future. I'm cool with that. But your kids can't. And it's not just about being an sex work. It's about being a family vlogger and putting your kids' privacy on the internet forever. It's not just about this. It's the whole rigmarole. That's what I talk about on this channel. It's the most important thing we talk about. The kids don't have consent. And everything that gets put online about them in the future and everything your parents do in sex work and all that stuff is going to come to light when they live in the world. Specifically, they go to public school. Which is why a lot of famous people's kids don't go to public school. They go to private schools with other famous kids because those kids are going to be bullied. That's just the way it is. And I've said this multiple times, and I've brought up multiple proof of people and kids who said I want to end their life because their parents' sex work was found and it was being spread around the school. There's a woman in Florida suing the school board for $1 million because they booted her off the school board because they found out she did PRN. Not saying I agree with that, but at the same time, that woman is selfish because she has children, and those children have to suffer the consequences of their life. If you ask your kid, hey, are you cool with me being in the PRN industry and the possibility of your friends all finding it out? How many kids are going to say yes to that? It's as an adult, you can make your own decisions. But again, as parents, it's our job to make our kids' lives as easy as possible. I don't think you can argue with that. And that does not make their life easy, nor will it ever.
Thankfully, I've had YouTube and all these different opportunities where I just worked really hard to find ways to support myself.
You don't work really hard. You showed a dead body on camera? That one? Is that what you meant to say?
I wrote books. I had subscription boxes. I did makeup. I've made jewelry. I've really hustled hard behind the scenes on always trying to be able to support myself and now support my family. And I've been so fortunate and so lucky that I have been able to do that.
Let's not forget, Shannon Rose has something how many views does she have on her YouTube channel? Shannon Rose Vlogs has 397 subscribers, and she has another channel, okay? On this channel alone, on 397,000 subscribers, I thought she had over 1 million, but that's a different channel. On this channel alone, she has 86 million views. Okay, she's made a couple $100,000 just on this channel alone. I want to say $300,000 or $400,000 on this channel, okay? Let's go to her other channel, Shannon Rose, 1.2 million subscribers, and she's got 203 million views on this channel alone. This woman has made so much money from her channel, okay? Don't get it twisted. So much money. That has nothing to say about the ad reads she used to do before she lost them. She's made tons of ad reads. She has a Patreon with 1,100 people. What's her Patreon at? 1,190 Patreons. At the lowest tier, $4 a month. Let me do some math, because I math sometimes. At her lowest tier, let's just say everybody supports her lowest tier, which is not true. Per month, she makes $4,700 US per month on Patreon. And that's her money. She does pay Patreon a percentage, probably, I don't know what she pays, probably 10, I think there's not much. They pay you could pay a monthly fee to be on Patreon. They don't take a lot of that money. So not only does she make $4,700 alone just on Patreon, and it was way more than that until she lost a bunch of subscribers after calling me a child R. So she makes $4,700 in there. On her channel alone on YouTube, she makes hundreds of thousands of dollars. Shannon, where did all this money go? What did you do with all the money? They all want to live this flex life, and yet they all have nothing to show for it at the end when their time is done. Not all of them. Lots of them do, though. Like, what did you do with all your money? Where did it go? You buy houses, you buy RVs, you buy expensive shit, you buy Range Rovers. You guys just don't know how to spend your money. Like, if James Stauffer didn't have Stauffer Garage, Micah and James would have had to sell everything. They would have lost everything. Stauffer Garage is the only thing keeping them alive. But they don't get to live the same, well, they still go to country clubs and shit, so he still makes tons of money. I'm just saying, where is all your money? And then she's sitting here, woe is me, I can't work at Target and TJ Maxx and all that stuff, yet she's made over, I'm saying upwards of probably $1 million or more over the time she's been on YouTube, or more, even more, probably more than I even think. So where's the money? Why don't these people do videos on how to invest your money when you get it?
But the reason I'm upset right now is because the whole time I've been doing YouTube, I have had stalkers, and these are not like your typical stalkers that you think of.
Yeah, because they're not stalkers. So she's saying they're stalkers, but they're not stalkers in the traditional sense. Like, they're coming to her house or looking at her, looking through the windows, or they're seeing where she goes to a mall and they follow her there. It's different. It's not that kind of stalker. She's just saying people online who don't like her because she's a bad person, and they want to just see her not succeed. That's the whole point of this platform, everybody. That's the only thing that viewers that don't like you have in their tool belt to, like, take you down, is to contact sponsors and say, I'm not going to buy your product because you use this person and I don't align with those values. It's basically what it is in the gist of it. When people are reaching out to Jess Fams, sponsors, and everybody else, they're saying, look, I don't like that you use child exploitation to sell your product, and I no longer will buy that. That's just the way it works. Voting with your wallet is time over time. This is not just from the internet. This is from any time. It's called boycotting. It's just a low-level boycott to say, I'm not going to buy your product. I just don't appreciate that you use people that I don't align with in my values. Yeah, that's why I don't use Dyson vacuums. Why I use Shark vacuums, but I hear that Shark is now starting to do it. But again, this is your complete right. It's not a stalker. It's just people who don't like you. And, they have time on their hands and they do it. I get it. You are famous people, quote unquote, and there's going to be people who hate you. There's so many people who hate me. I just don't have any sponsors. So.
These are like online stalkers that constantly harass and bully and just like try to like come for like our family's income. So they're doing like, and this has been going on for years, they are doing everything in their power to try to make it so that I can't make money online.
You can make money online. You just can't do ad reads online. The ads, she can make a ton of money doing YouTube online. She has Patreon. She makes 40. Who put your hand up if you make over almost $5,000 a month doing videos for people. $5,000 a month is not little. I mean, maybe for her, because she lives in California, it's not that much. But that's they don't have a job and they make $5,000 a month. On top of the YouTube money that she brings in, on top of the book sales that she has, those are all her own personal lines of revenue streams where people will buy those and support her for. She just can't do ad reads, is what she's saying here. So she's saying, because I can't do ad reads, I lose all. It's just a lie. It's a straight up lie. That's all that is. And that's the only way you can say that. She's lying. And I don't like it.
So they're trying to like take every form of income away from me. So this would be like
nope, just the ad reads.
Somebody coming to your job that didn't like you, but they've never met you in person before. They don't know who you are in real life. They only know you online.
Why do these family vloggers and influencers always do this? Like, you don't know me. What? Yes, we do. There's like 2,000 videos about you out there, Shannon Rose. You tell story times after story times after story times. You say, this is the truth. This is who I am. It's raw and real, blah, blah, blah. Then who are you if this isn't you? Are you telling me that everything? Then maybe all these family vloggers need to come out and say, everything you see here is fake. This is not who I am. Then just say that at the beginning of your video. Because otherwise people think that's who you are. And for good reason, because it's absolutely who you are. So stop this dumbass excuse.
And completely and obsessively stalk every little move and everything that you do. And
also, it's not like that at all, because if someone walked into a job where you worked and they're like, that person over there did porn, they're going to be like, call the police and get this person out of here. Are you serious? Like, I don't know where they come up with these. It's like this. It's nothing like that whatsoever. It's nothing like that at all.
Anytime you post with somebody, they reach out to that person and they send horrible like messages, majority of the stuff that's not even true about me, to try to make it so like my...
Like what?
New friend that I just made that I, tagged on Instagram or they saw in a YouTube video, won't want to be like my friend anymore.
I'm not saying you guys should be doing that. That's kind of weird that people do that. I guess they are obsessive to that degree. I would never tell people to do that. I would never do that. But the add things is different than just reaching out to friends, which is kind of weird. But maybe, Shannon, don't put your entire public life online like you just said. It's not me. Then why are you tagging new friends? It's not real friends then? She's a contradiction. She's a walking contradiction. So why, if you don't know me and that's not who I'm online, why are you posting here's my new friend online? Why is everything online for you? Why don't you just get off the internet, leave it alone, go, and everybody will forget about you ASAP. You don't have that much of a lasting legacy. People will forget. If I left the internet tomorrow, in a week, people would forget about me. Absolutely. It's just, that's the way it works. Very short memories online. You would be disappeared. People, if you got off the internet, took everything down, yeah, your PRN videos would be up under a different name, by the way, which I forget what it is, and you just change your name to what it really is. I'm not sure her real name is Shannon Rose either. I don't know. Maybe it is, but you would be forgotten very soon, very quickly. Also, you have a pretty big influence now. I'm sure in one of your million subscribers, there's someone out there that owns a business that'd be happy to hire you. They like you. Hey, I'm happy to help you. I support you. She has tons of supporters. If you read her comments, she has tons of supporters. I'm sure someone out there can help you get something. Just leverage your platform.
Stay at home. I sew. I bake bread and cookies, and I just hang out with my family. I'm not doing anything.
She's not doing a ton of cuts here. You guys notice that?
Hurt other people.
And baking bread and cookies. Okay, cool. That doesn't mean that you didn't do a terrible thing in your past. The problem is that there was no justice for what you did. Okay, you did something terrible. And this is you reaping what you sowed. You sowed a word, but I'm just saying this is it. This is what karma's called, karma. We all get it eventually. Whatever you want to call it, karma, payback, just desserts. This is how the world works. You will eventually get back what you've put into the world, and what you put into the world was disgusting. Okay, it's disgusting, and it's just the way it is. You cannot tell someone, well, you can't hire me because I did fetish, PRN, and racist and killed animals. Yeah, people don't want to be associated with that. That's their choice to make. Advertisers every day choose who they want to be associated with, and then they reap the benefits, or they reap the repercussions of what they choose to connect with, what kind of influencer. Every time an influencer messes up, they lose sponsorships. It's just the way it is. These people that are going after your sponsors, they obviously hate you for a reason, and I don't know what the reason is. I can probably because you're past, or probably because you maybe called them out. I don't know. In her video that she just deleted, she talks about asking her fans to help basically dox these people. She actually asks people. She deleted it, so obviously she knew she was wrong, but one of them wrote back, "We got your back, cuz this isn't okay, and if we don't stop it, nobody will. I can get any passcode. I can use the Secret Service with their own information, and it tricks the system, so I can get it to any voicemail. Everybody calls me when they're trying to figure out who they're really dating and stuff. We got you." And then Shannon Rose liked it and said, "Feel free to email me." So she really is reaching out to people to try to find out who's doing this. And a lot of people are like, maybe it's a dad challenge. Well, no, I'm public in my disdain for Shannon. I'm not a secret stalker. I'm sitting here doing commentary videos on someone who did some terrible things. I'm not hiding my disdain for her. I don't go after her sponsors. People who do go for it. It's not me to say it. Do what you got to do, but I'm not doing it. So I don't really care. So she did that, and she's super angry, and she wants to come after these people. To what end? Why would you dox these people, Shannon Rose? What is it in the end that's gonna make you feel better? Are you gonna sue them or something like that? Because you can't be sued. Could you imagine taking someone to court and saying they reached out to a sponsorship because they didn't like me? That's harassment, or whatever you're gonna say. The judge, in my opinion, I'm not a lawyer, but the judge is gonna laugh. It's not even gonna make it to court. Okay, it's just not even gonna happen. Because that you are a public figure, that is the way this works. Public figures don't seem to realize that they're public figures. And they're like, well, I'm just a regular person. You're only a regular person when it matters. Right? You're only a regular person when it's detrimental to you. But you're a public figure when you need money and ad reads. And I've said that in my last video. It's so crazy to me that this is how they think. They think they're just regular people and that they shouldn't be held accountable for anything they did, but they should also reap all the benefits of being a public person. But then when shit hits the fan, they're like, oh, well, I'm just regular. No, you're a public person. That's just the way it is. That's been the time and again. You are in the public. You put stuff out to the public that you say, and we can tear that shit to shreds if we want to. That's just the way it goes. People do it to me all the time.
And I don't know why, like, these people keep trying to hurt me, but it's getting really fucking exhausting. And I just, like...
I mean, you know why they're trying to hurt you, Shannon. They hate what you did in your past. And that you continue to do by showing dead bodies and laughing at people and just being a complete and utter not nice person. She calls homeless... She's super classist against homeless people. She lies. She calls people out all the time. She's just not nice, and that's why people don't like you. If you were nice, Shannon, if you were actually a nice person, people would like you. That's just the way that works.
I just feel like I can't take it anymore, and I feel like these people are like literally trying to break me. And most days, like, I am totally fine, and I'm like, these people are crazy. Like, I just brush it off, and like it doesn't bother me.
You never brush this off. You always talk about it. Shannon Rose does these videos because it makes her money. She doesn't care. She loves that people talk about her. That's how she makes money.
And then there's days like today where I just like, my mental health just like can't handle it. And I think that...
Let me stop you there. You're sitting there in like this luxury designer robe crying in your bathroom on a camera on YouTube. You don't have it as bad as absolutely most people on earth. Let's just be real here for a second. Let's put this in perspective. Okay, you have an RV, you have a beautiful house, you have a family, you're healthy, I think. You've come from addiction to non-addiction, which is great, and I celebrate Shannon for that. It's awesome for you. That's one thing I'll always give Shannon props for. If her stories are true, and I do believe them, she came out of this massive addiction era in her life, and that's great. Great for you. Maybe you should talk about that. Maybe she should go into something positive and talk about... But she always goes into the negative side of her life and glorifies it and talks about it, makes money from it. And then she says, oh, I'm ashamed of it. But then why are you using it to make money? Right? So I just want to put it in perspective that she's sitting here in a free bathrobe that she received from people in a house that YouTube paid for with an RV in her driveway and cars and Range Rovers and everything else. You got to put in perspective. There are people out there who literally can't find jobs, who are dying or starving, who use food stamps, who can't do anything because they're just locked into life the way it is, and they're trying their best, and some of them are doing a little bit better, but she's complaining she can't make an ad read for a Dyson vacuum? Come on. Let's be real. This is very tone deaf, and you need to chill.
I don't think you guys realize I can't. I won't get hired because of my past. Like, it's a thing. And I also have never worked like a regular job before, really.
That's telling. Because you made the choice at 18, I think, to get in the adult entertainment industry because you didn't want to work, you didn't want to go to school, you didn't want to do something better with your life. And all these people who come at me, and there's a lot of people who do come at me for bashing sex workers. She's a perfect example of someone who went and did the easy way out. She said, this is where I'm going to make my money. And everybody's like, no, it should be great. But she completely regrets it. I bet you most people who are in the SEX industry, when they come out of it, they don't celebrate their past. They have a moment of clarity and they're like, you shouldn't be doing this. I'm saying most people, because what happens when everything fades, when your body is sagging and everything else happens, you lose your beauty? What do you have? What legacy have you left the world? SEX work? That's what you left? So that's what I'm saying. And when you bring kids in the picture, it's even worse. So she's the one that completely regrets it. She was the one in the hardcore entertainment industry, okay? And she regrets it. So many people regret their time in the entertainment because it's really, really difficult as far as they say.
So it's not just easy for me to just go get a job. There's not very many people that would hire me. And also
lots of people would hire you. Lots.
Husband doesn't work. So it's not like I can just like stay at home with the kids and like my husband goes to work. I've asked him to do that and he refuses to do it. So
excuse me? Travis, what? Why? Travis is a healthy young dude. Why can't he go get a job? Construction, whatever. There's lots of jobs out there. So she's just saying, and I hope she talks about that more. What? Travis can go get a job, but she's like, he won't? So then what the hell are you doing? So is it all on you? And if she's saying that, if that's the case, and Travis is like, I'm not getting a job. Why? Why would Travis not go get a job to support his family? That's really interesting. If you look at the comments in this video, a lot of people are like, excuse me? Even her fans are like, I think her fans hate Travis. She often throws Travis under the bus, and probably for good reason, because he probably deserves it. But Travis is not this, I don't like Travis either. But really? So then go get a job, Travis. Sorry. If you guys honestly lost everything, and they haven't, okay? They're just saying woe is me in their plush bathrobe in their bathroom. They're okay. But they're just not as okay as they'd like to be, is what I'm saying. When you lose a sponsorship, it sucks because you're not making that money you thought you're going to have. I get that. But YouTube is not guaranteed, everybody. Fame is not guaranteed. And these people they get to this level, Love Meg and Our Life and Weiss and LeBrant's and Ace Family, they all get to this level. They're like, well, they think it's going to be forever. It's not going to be. This shit on me is not going to be forever. It's never forever. It's not going to be forever. And they honestly get to a point where like, hey, we're good. It's forever now. No, it's not. This is not guaranteed. You are so lucky to have it. And so when you do have this, anybody who gets on YouTube and hits it big or whatever, do me a favor. Okay. Invest like 90% of that money, live off the other 10, and then retire young. Get off. If I had a choice right now and I won the lottery, and I didn't have to rely on YouTube at all to pay for my wife's school or extra side income and all that kind of stuff, I would absolutely get off the internet. Like I'd get off Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. I love it because I have a voice and a platform, but if I won like 100 million, I'm sorry. Bye? That's what I'm saying. Maybe not. Maybe I'd do less videos, but funnier ones. But I'm just saying they're not struggling and they want you to struggle. They want you to feel woe is me so their fans are mobilized to do what she asked them to do. So let's look at this video real quick. I know it's going long, but she says she's never had a job. And then there's this video titled, All the Jobs I've Ever Had.
Just gonna like.
Okay.
Hey guys, it's Shannon Rose, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you guys every job I've ever had. And I know that you're probably thinking, oh.
You said you couldn't get jobs though.
Like you just do YouTube and you used to do porn, but guess what? That's not true.
Well, you just said it was true in the video in the bathrobe that you got for free on YouTube. So what are you saying, Shannon? Again, that's why I said don't feel sorry for her. She's lying to you. She's literally tricking you. She's tricking her fans, and that's what pisses me off. Her fans are like, oh yeah, but did they not watch this video? What about that video you said you had all the jobs?
I had quite a few other jobs, and today I'm going to tell you what they are.
Yeah,
what they were.
Let's go.
I just have to say, I made this list of like the jobs I had, and I was like writing it out, and I was like, dang, I'm a hustler.
You just told us. Right.
I hustle, girl. So the very first one I could think back of when I was like actually a little, and still in like elementary school. I don't know if you guys remember, and this is like so...
Lemonade Stand?
Oh my god, what is that movie? Oh my gosh, it's like such a popular movie.
What?
Vote for Pedro. What is that?
Oh, no. Okay.
What is that movie? You guys know what movie it is.
Okay, anyway,
I
next.
Sold lanyards to like kids at school when I was
That's not a job.
little. Oh my god, it's so embarrassing. That was like my first job, you know? And then I also did hair wraps. Official job. I actually worked at a cookie store. It was called the San Francisco Cookie Company, and it was in a mall. And that was like my official first job ever. And I ended up like ODing and
on cookies or on drugs?
getting fired.
So you OD'd at the job and got fired from the cookie job. So, not that that's funny, but like every time she's like, I got fired, it's because of something that you did, Shannon. It's not like, so she puts this, here's the thing. She puts this on everybody else. She's like, I got fired. I can't get a job, blah, blah. You OD'd at a cookie store. You did disgusting fetish stuff. So it's not, she blames everybody else for her actions. That's the problem.
So
wow.
That's how that went. So then after that, I feel like I didn't really have any actual jobs after that. I worked at like, what is it called? Like my gosh, my brain is so broken.
You said you wrote this list down, so.
I know what I want to say, but like I can't, the words don't come out. You know what I mean? Like I can't think of the proper words. I don't know if it's a concession stand or what, but like I played softball and they had like a stand.
Yeah, it's a concession stand.
Where they like sold like snacks and
that's exactly what it was.
And candy and stuff. Is it a concession stand?
Yes, it is. Just Google it quick and then come back and then film it.
Broken brain. I like worked there sometimes. Then I started escorting. So you guys know, I don't know if I told
I didn't know that
story on YouTube.
It's out now.
But I talk about it in my book that I started escorting when I was 14.
14?
That was like kind of like my
Epstein intensifies. What? I feel like if she did that at 14, maybe you got some leverage over people. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
real first job. Let me take
That is not a job. That is illegal.
that.
That's trafficking. And she's laughing about it. I'm sorry, I'm sorry you're the victim in that case, obviously, Shane, because you're underage. But why are you laughing about that?
That was like the job I had the longest, was like escorting at 14. Because the cookie store job didn't last very long.
Right. That's, I get it. You work at a cookie store, you OD at the cookie store, then you become an escort. Totally. I see the progression, the natural, obvious progression from ODing at a cookie store to becoming a sex worker, like a call girl. Holy shit.
And then I became a stripper, and that was like right when I turned 18. That lasted like 4 months. I don't know if I tell that story on YouTube or not. I'm not really sure. And then I started doing
You did now.
porn, and that's kind of like where my second...
So she went from okay, this is such a weird progression. She was a hooker, for lack of a better term, as a 14-year-old young trafficked person. Holy shit, which is... I feel like you should talk about that more, about how wrong that was in your life. Then as soon as you turned 18 of age, you went to a strip club and stripped. Okay. Then from the strip club, you went into porn. And I'm just like, wow. Choices.
Book is going to talk about all of that. And then I was a receptionist. I stopped doing porn and I started going to school, and I became a receptionist for a little bit at like a doctor's office. I can't tell you how hard it is.
That sounds like a really good job. She told us she's never had jobs. She said she's only applied at TJ Maxx and all those places and didn't get jobs. She was a receptionist at a doctor's office. She's a liar. So I don't feel sorry for her.
To go from a really like taboo, exciting job where you make a lot of money to like kind of, okay, I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, because I don't want anyone to be like, I'm a receptionist, my job's not boring. For me, like going from porn to a receptionist job, it was like a very boring transition.
Yeah, because you can go from doing, I'm not sure how the porn industry works, but it sounds like you could book jobs. If you don't want to book jobs, you can do whatever you want. It's kind of more freeing, I think, and maybe you're under contract. I don't know. I'm not in the porn industry. I would be a very bad porn industry person. But she just said, I had the freedom to do what I wanted, do drugs and all that kind of stuff. And then reception, obviously, you can't do any of that stuff. And so she was groomed from a young age to not be able to enter into real life society. She needed therapy is what she needed.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like anything exciting. It was like a boring job for me because I was used to doing like something really crazy, for work. So yeah. I didn't like that job. They also in this doctor's office had like area where they had like a spa, and they had like eyelash extensions, and so they taught me how to do eyelash extensions, and I did that for a little bit, but that didn't last very long, so I really didn't like it.
She doesn't touch on the things why it doesn't last very long. She is not telling you what happened, and that's very telling because clearly something went down, and she just, oh yeah, in passing, I might have murdered somebody or something, whatever, allegedly.
That. And then I went to EMT school, which is the people that drive the ambulance and are in the back of an ambulance, keeping people alive until they...
Finally, something she corroborates. Finally.
Get to the hospital. I went to school for that, and I graduated, got a job shortly after, got fired shortly after that. And then...
No reason? Okay. Again, that EMT job is going to be something I would like to know about. Something I want to find out about.
I became a medical assistant in the back office, and I have a whole story time for this because that was probably like one of the scariest things I had to do. I did a lot of scary things in my life, but this one for like normal, not like porn or escorting, was like scary for like just like a typical job thing where I had to like take stitches out of this chick's boob after she got like plastic surgery, and I didn't know how to do it or what I was doing. I somehow got like thrown into that situation, and I was like freaking out. I got fired from that job. So if you want the story...
Wow. Holy shit. Holy crap.
Every time for that, let me know. And then I volunteered at a nursing home. I also volunteered at like a homeless shelter. Those aren't really like jobs where I got paid, but I did that. And then
what? Like you just, what, for a day? Did you have to serve time? Is it from being on parole? What? You just volunteer. All of a sudden you live this whole life of debauchery and then you volunteer at a nursing home? Please expand on that.
I went to phlebotomy school and I got my phlebotomist license.
What in the hell is a phlebotomist? I am dumb, but let's find out. Phlebotomy. Phlebotomy is the process of making a puncture in a vein, usually in the arm, with a cannula for the purpose of drawing blood. Oh, so she's going like drawing blood nursing. That's quite the freeze frame.
And I really liked that. So a phlebotomist, for anyone that doesn't know, is someone that like draws blood from
the arm,
like veins.
Yes.
I actually did it like a private type thing where it was for like insurance companies, so people that were trying to get like life insurance, they like send people to your house to like take your urine and your blood and like just make sure you're healthy basically.
She did all of this after PRN. Holy smokes.
They take like blood pressure, all that stuff. So I would go to people's houses and I would take their blood pressure, all that stuff. Okay,
so you've had lots of jobs. That's what you're telling us. That fact that this is always getting fired. They wouldn't fire her, or they wouldn't hire her because of porn. She's telling us after porn, she's had like career style jobs. Like she had to go to school for these things. And I feel if you went to school for EMT, and you got fired for being in PRN. First of all, you sued them. Second of all, go somewhere else, as EMTs needed all over the country. So she's leaving out way too much stuff.
Collect that information and then for them to be able to get life insurance. So I did that. I really liked that. By the way, it was kind of fun for me. I have some confessions. I like drew my own blood because I had all this stuff at home, and then I also drew my boyfriend's blood at the time, and we had
illegal, probably,
like vials of each other's blood, which is like so kind of gross and twisted. But I know like Angelina Jolie, I think, did it, and like during that.
This is why you don't stan people. This is why you don't idolize famous people, because yes, Angelina Jolie and what's his face did that, and it's weird, and she's creepy, and then she did it because she did it. That's why influencing culture is not as innocent as you guys all think. They are influenced. They influence others.
Time, and so I wanted to do it because I thought it was cool.
It's not.
Weird, I know. Anyway, it got fired from that job. I got fired from all the jobs.
Yes, you
Clearly,
did.
I don't like working for others.
Clearly.
And then I started doing some art on Etsy, which I really loved. I did like weird paintings that weren't very good at all, but it was fun for me, and it was very therapeutic, and people actually bought them. So I did that for a while.
I'm Googling Channon Rose paintings. Oh, she's got the Etsy up. What? She just has her books on there now. Oh, here we go. You're selling these on Etsy. Okay. This looks like, you know, when you walk down like a grade school art hall and these are like all on the wall like that. And so I'm like, oh, that's good. These kids are 14. Really good. I'm sorry. That's weird to me. Creeping me right out. Anyway.
And I obviously really liked doing that because it let me have like more freedom, and I'm a very like creative type person. I don't like going to like a 9-to-5 job. I'm really not good at it. I'm just like not cut out for it at all. I like to have like freedom and space. I don't do well on like scheduled things.
Why don't you just say that in the other video instead of saying, I can't get hired because I'm important? No, you can't get hired because you don't want to be hired. You don't want to work in the real world. So you're there, woe is me, crying in your free robe because you might be forced to go to the real world. Sorry, the rest of us work in the real world, and that's why most people should not feel sorry for you. That's the real world, Channon. I wanted to show you that video because clearly she did have lots of jobs, and real jobs, not just like, you know, selling bracelets at high school. She actually had real career style jobs. And then she's sitting on her floor saying, I've never been able to get a real job. She's lying to you. That's the whole point of this video. I could have made this video in 30 seconds. Channon Rose lies to you. That's all I had to say. And you guys knew that already. But again, people are wondering why I come after Channon Rose. Well, for this reason.
Well, way back when I tried to kill him and his whole family and burn his house down with his whole family in it. It's a good thing I've changed.
Right? Remember that little thing? That little debacle? And yes, I'm going to sue Channon Rose. Like, I have 2 years to do it. I might even do it a little bit sooner because of other circumstances that have arisen. But again, I know a lot of people have my back and that kind of thing, and I'll keep you informed on that. But Channon Rose basically said she wants to burn my entire house down with my family in it and calls me a child R because I was a pastor without any proof, obviously, and obviously didn't stick, and she lost a lot of subscribers. I'm not sure why, if it was my people. I didn't tell anybody to go after her. I said, I always will say this about influencers. Nothing them. If you don't like what somebody's doing, like Sunkissed Mama, Jess Fam, when they came after those teenagers, if you don't like that they did that, and a lot of you don't, they lost a lot of subscribers for that. That's what you do. You unsubscribe and then you stop watching. That's it. You don't go after their sponsors. We're not trying to do an adpocalypse. It's not good for YouTube as a whole. That's just not, I don't condone that. Don't do it. But if you want to, I'm not going to tell you not to, right? If you want to come after sponsors, that's your own prerogative. My way of stopping these people is to nothing them. And I tell you that all the time. Don't go harass them. Don't go bully them. Don't go leave negative comments. Don't leave thumbs down. Nothing. Because any engagement for them is good engagement. It always is. Always has been. So if you just completely ignore them and take them out of your life and forget about them, that's the worst thing you could do for somebody who is an influencer, is a narcissist, okay? Is to nothing them. And I tell you that all time and time and time again. And let's not forget, everybody, she just released a video and I couldn't download it because I was playing hockey last night and I pulled my ham like I've never pulled my hamstring before, okay? I couldn't even sleep. It's crazy. I'm on meds right now. I might have to go to the hospital. It's so bad. So I didn't get a chance to download it. So if anybody out there downloaded that Channon Rose video, let me know. That is a huge, huge YouTube terms of service violation, what she did there, which is why she deleted it smartly. But if we can find it, I will cut it up and I will send it to Team YouTube on Twitter, because that could shut her down for what she did there. And in the comments, people were like, I'll help you find these people. I'll help you find these people. Again, and some alluded that it was me. I'm like, no, I'm here publicly. You know I hate her, so you don't fine, come after me if you want, but I'm saying I'm public. She's trying to find the secret people by asking people to find IP addresses and things like that. And I don't know if she's going to do information, possibly dox them. I don't know. She might possibly she said she might go to them, and people are like, don't go see them, that's dangerous. And she's like, I'll have security, I'll have police with me, don't worry about it. Channon Rose deleted that video for a reason. That shit will get you in major trouble on YouTube for saying something like that. That's real world with people who don't want to be real world. But if you are an influencer or in the public eye like me, myself, or Channon, or Just Femme, everybody else, fair game. Not fair game to treat them, to send them hate threats or anything like that, but fair game to, like, if you don't like what a sponsor that's connecting, fair game to go reach out to that sponsor. That's your prerogative. It's not illegal to do that. It's not harassment. Going after another company for saying, I don't like that you sponsor that, is not harassment towards Channon Rose. Harassing Channon Rose is going up, up to her house and following her everywhere she goes and doing all that stuff. That's harassment. She's got that wrong. So don't forget about that video. If anybody has that, please send it to me. I know someone downloaded it somewhere, so I'd love to see it. Everybody take a deep breath. Whew. Channon Rose is a liar, but you're not. You're gorgeous, beautiful, kind, and very valuable. And I really appreciate you being here with me on this journey in my grandpa sweaters, TM. And I will see you tomorrow.